If you see a fourth grader wearing a red t-shirt that says, "I was there," chances are that youngster just came back from a school field trip of a lifetime. A group of Baton Rouge students recently returned home from the Kennedy Space Center. They watched the latest liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery. The Buchanan Elementary students were in Florida because they had given a name to the equipment inside Discovery's payload. And that payload is now part of the International Space Station. School children learned history in the classroom, but this group of fourth graders made history. They won an academic contest sponsored by NASA to name a piece of space equipment that would be part of the International Space Station, also known as the ISS. NASA simply called this piece of equipment Node 2. It is a pressurized module that was built in Italy. It is about the size of a school bus and will serve as a central hub for American, Japanese, and European science labs inside the ISS. As part of the year-long contest, students researched the Node 2, built a scale model, created a PowerPoint demonstration, and even wrote an essay. A really long essay.
I think it was about 2 pages long, 2.5 pages long.
Single space or double space?
Single space.
Wow, that's a long essay.
It was long.
Finally, the fourth graders of Buchanan Elementary offered their idea to name that node.
After we were done, we had to combine everything together, and we all worked in harmony. So then we thought of the name, and we like, oh, that's a good name. So we picked the Harmony.
We also named Harmony because it's a sequence of the first node, Unity. So it's like fits together, fits in.
Unity and harmony.
Yep.
Was it fun working on this project?
It was hard and fun, but it was worth it to see the launch and see our node go up and be in history forever.
2, 1, booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, hoisting Harmony to the heavens.
Harmony was aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery STS-120 mission, and all 23 fourth graders were invited to watch the liftoff at the Kennedy Space Center.
It was exciting, actually, because when the space shuttle went off, I could feel the ground shaking on my feet.
When it was T-minus 10, everyone started shouting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when it launched off, the ground just started shaking. And some of the kids were about to cry because they saw their Harmony just going up into space, going to the ISS. And it was finally going.
I think it was really awesome.
Really? Why?
Because with the launch, it was cool. The ground was like, boom. It was awesome.
It was the first launch I've ever seen in real life. I've seen others in TV, but that's the first one I saw in real life.
This group of fourth graders are pretty special in your eyes, aren't they?
They are. They're a great group of kids. They're willing to take on a challenge and proceed with it. The trip was amazing. From just pulling it together at the very beginning and then being able to get over there. We were treated like VIPs with NASA.
The Buchanan students got up close and personal with real-life astronauts to ask them about life in outer space. What was it like to be able to talk to some astronauts?
It felt like talking to a Hollywood star or whatever.
Really? Why?
Well, first of all, he went up into space for maybe 3 times, and you're like talking to an astronaut that knows about the ISS and a lot of stuff.
The NASA trip also gave some of these youngsters a glimpse of their future. What would you like to do when you grow up?
I'd probably like to build airplanes or do anything with rockets and try to invent some other stuff.
Yeah, probably an astronaut.
Yeah?
Or just someone that helps out making the things and checking everything.
Would you like to be an astronaut one day?
Well, not exactly an astronaut, but an inventor who makes new kinds of space shuttles.
Really?
Well, yeah.
What kind of a new kind of space shuttle?
One that helps astronauts be better in space.
They need to really start thinking about, especially those that have real good math skills, engineering skills, and I think it helps them to start thinking about that and preparing themselves, because, you know, when they talk to the astronauts, the main thing that they told them was to stay in school, study hard, you know, set your goals, and do what you need to do to get there.
What would you like to do when you grow up?
I would like to be a rocket scientist or a doctor on the space shuttle, because I just want to know how it feels to go up in a space shuttle or make rockets.
Do you like learning about space and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it about it you like?
Well, basically, I like to hear that they're new planets or dwarf planets or stuff like that. And if there are, can we live on them and stuff like that?
It really seems like this is certainly going to be a memory cherished by teachers and students alike.
Oh, definitely. It will. It's such a memorable history-making event that it has gone down in history for me as the best experience.
That is a trip of a lifetime and some very smart kids.
Nobody said they wanted to be in TV.
I told you, they're very smart kids. Buchanan Elementary was one of 6 schools in the United States to name the node Harmony. All 6 schools were invited to watch the launch. Over 2,200 schools from K through 12 competed for the honor.
As part of their classwork, the students will keep journals to follow the progress of Harmony in the International Space Station.